Hey Mads. Hey
Yeah.
Mads. Hey.
Yes.
Is your
Hey.
hand, is your hand bigger than your face?
It's about the same size.
Oh, well, why don't you put your hand on your face? Because if your hand's bigger than your face, you have cancer.
What
Place up.
about if it's the same size as my face? What do I have then?
Just
AIDS?
just just put your hand on your face.
Yeah, put your hand on your face. Do it.
Do it.
Do it for the podcast.
Yeah, do it for
Yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah,
All right,
do
I'm
it for
gonna
the
do
show.
it. I'm gonna try and do it as loud as possible so that you can hear like me slapping myself in the face. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Oh man, yeah, this is a free episode, by the way, guys. Yeah, that's like premium content that we're giving you
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah,
you get to hear a
that
woman slap herself in the fucking face.
Oh
Yeah, that
wow.
nice slapping noise. Anyways, today we're reviewing the entire Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. I have been awake since 3 a.m. It's like 10 p.m. right now. Why are we talking about Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Synth, you first.
It's one of those things where when we're like picking movies for the schedule, like you have a really stupid idea, so I kind of like do a half-assed thing to sort of steer you away from like that really stupid idea. One of those ideas was Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which I just sort of threw out there so we could like not do one of the dumber ideas you had.
You know, you could try taking this whole thing a bit more seriously there, Synth. I mean, shall we remind you of the Demolition Man
No.
recording?
No. No. To be fair, I watched Roderick Rules and Dog Days.
I watched
Okay.
Roderick Rules, and I've watched clips of the fourth one that everybody has their pennies in a bunch over.
This movie ruins the Diary of a Wimpy Kid franchise, and quite frankly, it ruined my life.
Hashtag not my Roderick.
Not my fucking Roderick. That's why they stormed the Capitol, was to get rid of fucking that new Roderick who looks like Willy Wonka.
Yeah, he looks like Leafy as Willy Wonka. Although he is, to his credit, he is like about like 30% more attractive than Leafy. No, more like 60% more attractive.
Why has Leafy been having the fucking cheese touch lately? What's the deal with that, bros?
Oh my!
I don't know.
God.
I think Keemstar gave it to him when they were on the helicopter together.
Wait, they were on a helicopter together?
Yeah.
That's really gay.
Attention, all Zoomer Tombstone tumors. This is an anti-Leafy is here zone. That guy's a piece of shit. He looks like a Roderick if he was mixed with a Who from Horton Hears a Who. If you ever see him on the street, kick his ass. Don't actually though, because this is not legal advice.
Leafy is based and he hasn't sold out on like iDubbbz. I hate iDubbbz. He stinks.
Dude, all he's done for the past like 2 or 3 weeks is post like I hate trans people on Twitter constantly. Just, I hate the queers.
He's pretty much doing the thing that got that Steinfeld AI ban. It's like, hi, I'm a comedian. I'm going to make jokes about trans people and people are gonna laugh. It's so funny.
Wait, Leafy is Canadian?
Is
It
he?
would explain a lot. It would explain an awful lot.
Why aren't Canadians like less homophobic or something?
Canadians are subhuman.
Why? They have universal health care.
Have you ever seen Canadian Bacon by Michael Moore?
They have a fucking maple leaf on their flag. That's the only reason.
Yeah, that's cool. Maple
that's the
leaves
only
are cool.
reason.
They have milk in bags.
No maple leaf. Get a real flag with 3 colors and a minimalist design, like every other country on Earth.
Wait, no, it has 2 colors. Yeah,
it's red and white, like Austria
or Japan,
and that's lame.
Well, I don't know. Their country produced Total Drama Island, 16, Stoked, all of them good.
Totally
cartoons.
Spies.
No,
Donkey Kong Country TV show.
technically that was
Okay,
France. Totally Spies.
I thought it was
Okay,
French
okay.
Canadian.
Okay. We
Yeah,
got
that's like French
paradox.
Canadians make a lot of those weird animes. Like I think also Code Lyoko was that.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah, it was
probably
a
explains it.
Montrealer shows. It was pretty interesting. I don't know why they like a lot of like French Canadian stuff. Like I don't know why they have such like a big cultural input from anime where they just make their own types of anime. It's very strange.
Do you think Greg Heffley watches Totally Spies?
Yeah.
Oh
I think
yeah,
Greg
absolutely.
Heffley's a sociopath.
No,
Oh yeah,
Greg
and only
Heffley is,
sociopaths watch Totally Spies.
dude, Greg Heffley
Yeah.
is not a sociopath. I will fucking argue with you on this.
No, he
Greg
is. He's like a
Heffley is just a normal like 12-year-old.
Dude,
he's a narcissistic sociopath, and that's what all 12-year-old boys are like.
Yes.
look, Greg's not a role model. He's a very flawed person, but he's not a sociopath.
He's extremely egocentric.
It's sociopathic to just call someone a sociopath off the bat.
No, fuck it's not. It's not sociopathic to call someone a sociopath. That's you're the reason why America is diseased. You know that? Because you're just like, hey, you can't call someone out for being a sociopath.
Well, I'm
even though
just
they're clearly
saying,
being a sociopath.
if
No,
you
fuck
fucking
you.
look
No,
at
fuck
Greg,
you.
his
Greg
parents,
Heffley is a sociopath.
dude, Greg's brother torments him every day. Like, it would make sense why he kind of grows into a flawed person. Greg's
brother is a flimsy emo kid who has a band named after diapers.
Exploded diaper.
Yeah, I was a groupie for Loaded Diaper in like the summer of 05. But
he's like
the
every
middle-aged
teenager
guy that was
in
in the band
2007.
gave me the bad touch.
He's like a suburban kid from like 2007 who listens to Avenged Sevenfold once, and they're just like, I'm so metal, I'm so emo.
But Greg gets like fucked over like pretty bad, like by
and
society.
He deserves it.
No, he doesn't. His brother
he deserves it.
His brother puts a chocolate bar on his fucking like church pants, and then the whole church people all fucking like mock him. It's just like Greg is dealt a fucking like shitty card sometimes, and Greg is
duty on his pants.
Greg is fucking Joker.
Yeah, his Joker origin story is when Manny put a cookie in his place. His Xbox 360 Slim.
God, what a fucking piece of shit Manny
and
is.
Only 3.
Oh no, the world is so evil. My little brother put a cookie in my disk drive and I can't get any pussy. Oh no!
Holly Hills, oh my god.
My emo older brother makes fun of me and puts chocolate in my pants so it looks like I dutied.
Well, I'm just saying, like when in that scene where Greg Heffley goes to his first day of school and his teacher's like, "Oh, is your brother Roderick?" And then his like teacher just gives him the cold eye. It's just like it's all these little things that build up. Okay, Greg is a flawed man, but that's why he's a complicated protagonist. He grows at the end when silence, femoid. Silence. I'm talking about Diary of a Wimpy Kid here.
I am too. That's why I'm on this podcast.
Cheese touch heaven, motherfucker. No. Listen here, you cheese touch bearer. Look, I have been a Heffley head since before you were born, motherfucker. I've read all the books until about 2014. And I can tell you this.
What?
You're wrong.
Well, okay. Well, if I'm just going by facts here, Greg,
okay. Well,
silence.
Greg is God's lonely man.
Greg
is God's lonely man. He's like Taxi Driver.
Look, Greg.
He's inherited the sins of the older brother.
Yeah, the sins of the brother.
If you troglodytes would just let me explain.
If you troglodytes would let me explain, I would
explain your thesis statement.
Okay. I would like to explain my models and my theses.
Look, Greg, he's a flawed man, but he learns. He redeems himself at the end of all these movies. He eats,
and then he doesn't retain those lessons in the future films.
Well, it's just
And
like
then there's another book,
because
and then
he's
another
dealt,
book.
because he's
And then
dealt
he's
with
back in
different
6th grade.
problems. Because he's dealt with different problems in each fucking book and movie. Okay, like like Raleigh. In the first movie and book, okay, he treats Raleigh like shit, but in the second and third one, he doesn't treat Raleigh like shit. And
Yeah.
okay. Greg tells everyone he eats the cheese to spare the dignity of Raleigh Jefferson's name, of his lineage. So he has honor. And also in the third movie, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days, Greg, he protects his father's honor by defending his family's honor against that douchebag neighbor guy in
Yeah.
that camping storyline. And
The
I think
Osnellas.
what?
The Osnellas.
Yeah, what's an Osmella again?
The neighbors.
Oh,
That's their name.
oh, okay. I just sort of I forgot their name.
Also in the third movie,
You're not a true Heffley head.
Shut up!
You're not a true Heffley head.
I'll fucking kick your fucking ass!
You're not a true Heffley head, okay? You have to be on those Heffley grind sets, okay?
Bitch, I'm defending Greg Heffley here while you're trying to demonize him as some fucking 2D shallow character.
I know my boy's a demon. He's got that demon inside of him.
Greg,
You, on the other hand, are trying to make him soft.
Look, well, I'm saying
there's a duality in him.
I'm acknowledging that Greg is a flawed man, but I'm still saying, like, you could be a flawed character and still be a sympathetic protagonist at the same time. Greg is an upstanding Italian American. Like, Greg has a little bit of a fire. He has that firehead fucking like Brooklyn attitude. Okay, like, I'm sorry that you can't handle that, you little fucking beta male, you fucking worm. Do you want a fucking Care Bears movie? Is that what you want your protagonist to be?
First response: the movie was shot in Vancouver. He's not a fucking Italian. Okay, he's not from New York. He's not
probably
from
a
fucking
white
Yonkers.
Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
He's a wasp.
Look,
okay, so that's one. That's one.
Look,
all right, that's
listen.
one.
Look at my face,
Number
motherfucker.
Number two. All right, look, listen.
What?
Number two. I never disagree with you on the fact that Greg Heffley can be a flawed character with some decent characteristics.
You call him a sociopath.
Yeah, because that's what he is.
No, he's not.
He's a fucking sociopath. He makes his friend Rowley take the bullet like all the time.
Well,
and he only jumps in when he's in trouble.
He jumps in to save his friend when he's in trouble. Yeah, that's being
no. When Greg is in trouble, for his friend getting hurt doing some kind of antic, you are inhumane if you think that
the rest of this school fucking like viewed Raleigh like, oh, hey, Raleigh, did you eat the cheese touch? Because if you do, we're going to lynch you. And Greg's like, no, I ate the cheese touch. And, Greg saved his friend's reputation. Raleigh Jefferson could not have been president if people knew he ate the cheese.
And yet people like you always forget about Fregley.
Dude, Fregley deserves to be fucking put down. I'm sorry that you were the kid who fucking played with your boogers in school. I'm fucking sorry that you rooted for fucking Fregley, dude.
What did Fregley do wrong?
Motherfucker.
He gave people junk pizza without telling them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think like he could have started a whole new pandemic all the way back there.
Hey, look. Fregley is just he's an economist, all right? He's trying to save money. He's on that Fregley grind set.
Fregley? Dude, Fregley is fucking alt-right. Fregley literally looks like fucking Chud Jack, bro. Fregley's fucking racist.
Now here's a question. Has anybody seen Chirag Gupta recently?
Oh, he died. In the
Good one, Greg.
But he deserved it. He was talking shit, and Greg, he had the best comeback. He got the whole school involved in the joke. It's like, have you seen this kid? It's like he never came back. Do
Well,
you feel a
look,
draft?
look. Well, this is why Greg is not a bad guy, because whatever beef,
That's why he's a sociopath.
shut
'Cause
up.
He can manipulate people into thinking a kid died just to fuck with them.
Look, motherfucker. Listen, whatever beef those two kids had with each other, they went past it, because in Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days, Craig was sort of part of Greg's posse, in that
'cause he's a
camping
loser.
storyline. No, because they're fucking bros, because they have a thing called family. In the fucking Wimpy Kid saga, there's family. I'm sorry that you fucking burn bridges with your bros, but like,
Fucking Vin Diesel over here. Hey,
yeah,
Chirag Gupta, you're my family. Hey, you're in my family now. You can join us in Fast and Furious 10.
yeah, they fucking ride the fucking loaded diaper van and fucking the new Fast and Furious.
Hey, what? I'm gonna make a Facebook post. One love, Chirag Gupta. Peace to everyone. Signed, Vin.
I mean, dude, even Fregley, the racist Fregley who was part of the Confederate side on the Civil War, the Civil War reenactment thing.
Oh God.
Fregley is
Sam,
God's lonely man. You fuck. You oppress him.
Dude,
did you guys like that shirt that Greg's dad was wearing? The Civil War was a blast.
dude,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gay, but Greg Heffley's dad, total dilf.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah,
Total dilf.
I think the biggest downgrade from the recast was not getting Steve Zahn back to be the dad.
Yeah, and you know what, Ivan? Greg Heffley is an
Okay.
Italian American, because Steve Zahn has like that look of like a fucking former mobster who like turned into the witness protection program.
Dude, okay. No offense to Steve Zahn, but he looks like a fucking serial killer.
Well,
So,
I've seen a movie where he kind of did play one.
oh, what movie was that?
What movie was that? I forgot. It's familiar.
They're on
and I
an
can't put it down.
island. Chris Hemsworth is in it too.
Yeah, what the fuck is it called? It's like The Perfect Getaway or some shit.
Yeah, The Perfect Getaway, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like sitting in the way back of my mind. I haven't seen that movie since like 2011.
Have you seen The White Lotus? Steve Zahn is in the first season of that show.
No, I haven't.
You
No,
see
I
his
haven't seen
penis
it,
in
but
there.
you gotta.
You see his balls in that show.
Ooh, nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Come here, Greg Heffley's dad. Let me cup him.
Yeah, so if you ever want to see Frank Heffley's testicles, check out The White Lotus on HBO Max or Max.
Fuck Max.
Fuck you, bitch. Max is cool.
No.
It's
Fuck
slick.
Max. I hate the name. I hate it. Just keep it as HBO Max. What are you fucking doing? What are you fucking doing, HBO? Come on!
Well,
Yeah, you call it
sometimes
WB Max or something.
WB Max might be the most homosexual thing I've ever heard.
Warner Brothers Discovery is the worst merger, I think, in recent time.
Yeah.
It's just like the entire thing is just, oh, let's take our like beloved brands like HBO and Warner Brothers and Discovery and just mash them all together. Because I don't know, spurt, I'm jerking off.
Yeah.
That's all these fucking. Oh, I hate that shit. I'm sorry.
All these amalgamates.
Yeah, it's so fucking annoying. Streaming is becoming TV at this point, and I hate it. And I could talk about that forever, but we're gonna talk instead about Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Diarrhea of a Wimpy Kid.
Speaking of mergers, Synth, did you watch Dog Days and Roderick Rules on Disney Plus like I did?
Yes, I did.
Yes, because they're Fox movies.
Yeah, so they have a little. Wait. I'm sorry, Ivan.
I said you did your research.
Yeah, I watched Dog Days, and I think Dog Days is definitely the strongest out of the trilogy because there's things that just don't work in the trilogy. I feel like a lot of the gross out humor, I just don't really like. But I feel like the show, no, the movies, what really keeps them going is the performances from Greg, Roderick, Raleigh, Frank Heffley. They're all fucking Chads. Like they're all the fucking Chad zones. They're the Chads who really carry this movie.
Yeah, and the mom's funny as hell too, I think.
Yeah.
Have you seen the first Hangover movie? She's in it.
I've never seen the Hangover movies.
Yeah, but she's in it. She tells
I watched all
Zach
3 of them
Galifianakis to
recently.
suck her dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
That's kind of funny. I think I remember
Yeah.
that scene, but yeah, I watched all 3 of the Hangover movies recently, and it's weird how consistent they are. Like they still stay pretty consistently good.
Mhm.
And I like that they just kind of quit at 3. They just quit while they were ahead.
Who's that one guy's name? Zach Galifianakis.
Galifianakis.
See that's
Yeah.
why he could never got bigger because his last name's too fucking hard to say.
Could have just
What
called him
ethnicity is
Zach
that
G.
Galifianakis?
Yeah, should have just been by Zach Heffley.
Yeah, a little like a movie star name.
I always just called him the fat guy from Hangover.
I always just call him the fat guy.
Since the fat guy is Kevin James. All right.
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah, he's always consistently overweight.
Kevin James is like an athletic fat guy. But then again,
Yeah.
like Zach G is not even like really that fat.
Yeah, he's probably the fattest in the Hangover movies.
Yeah.
Then
I
after
think
that, he started
lost some
losing
weight.
weight.
Yeah.
Kevin James
Yeah, he's one
is
of
an
those people who I
athletic fat
think
guy.
looks better fat.
Kevin James is an athletic fat guy who looks like every fucking fat guy in New York City who's just like not like unhealthy fat, but just like fat enough to be mocked, you know? And it always gets like trumped up to the point where it's just like, oh, look at how fucking fat he is, even though he probably weighs like 200 at most.
Do you guys think Jonah Hill looked better fat or like skinny?
I think skinny Jonah
in the
Hill
middle.
looks kind of like a drug addict.
Do you think is Jonah Hill a traitor to the fat race?
The fat race? Are you
Because-
fucking kidding me right
I think
now?
the only
Look,
true
well,
traitor to the fat race is probably
mean-
Melissa McCarthy. Because that was like her brand, and then she started losing weight, and it's like, no, don't.
Well,
It's not funny when you tumble over if you're skinny, or even just
Damn,
normal
what-
weight.
Damn, Melissa McCarthy went from being an unfunny fat woman to just being an unfunny woman.
are you guys going like full like autist like 2016 of like she ruined the Ghostbusters movie? Like she's
Listen, we started off talking about
Look,
Levy.
Look, Melissa McCarthy is a fine actress. Okay, she was funny in The Heat and Bridesmaids. I thought I
Mhm.
like
I agree.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah, I like Bridesmaids.
Yeah,
Look. Okay, look.
don't go full fucking
I-
incel on me.
Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. I want to say my piece. Now, look. I think that Melissa McCarthy's a fine actor. I think all those actors in the Ghostbusters movie and from SNL, those types, they're fine on their own when they do their own stuff. But when they start getting together and doing these like girl power bullshit movies, it just it's something in the back of my mind just screams out, this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, and
Was it-
they're being made
was
by
it-
the same guy who has like a ball stepping fetish or something like that.
It wasn't even really a girls' power movie. It was just sort of like just
Yeah, it was a
female
white
comedy.
power.
I'm sorry that I'm sorry that you think these movies are going to lead to an Amazonian society where your fucking balls are going to be
Shut
turned
the
into
fuck.
cookie dough.
No. Don't even go there. No. Shut the fuck up. Look, my opinion is that I just find things like that slightly annoying. That's about it. There's
Okay.
nothing deeper than that. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, the Femoids! They're invading my Ghostbusters! You know, I'm not gonna do that. That's not who I am.
I will agree with you that the fucking like Ocean's 11 all female one was kind of cringy like that.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you there.
It feels forced, doesn't it? Because like I when they just say like, oh, let's take one thing and add women to it, it just like why?
Let's remake Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but make Patty Farrell the main character.
If they did that, I will literally kill myself. I will fucking do it. I'm gonna post my suicide on Reddit.com.
Your suicide note is just Zooey Mama.
That's what he screams before he puts the 12 gauge in his mouth.
All right. Here's a scenario, right? The Patty Farrell starring Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie from her perspective. It's like a girl power movie, right? That's like the whole shtick, the whole setup. You get this like 17-year-old Diary of a Wimpy Kid fan who's been reading it since he was like 8 years old. And he just goes on Reddit and he's just like, hi there, my name is Crusader Incel Lolly Hentai Cunny Rape 1488, and I'm going to kill myself. Zooey Mama!
Patty Farrell ascended extra. Like, you guys remember that? Like, when I remember reading the books, and like Patty Farrell was just like one incidental character, but the movies, and I thought this was like a good decision that they made her more of like a consistent rival to Greg with like history. Like, I beat you up in kindergarten and third grade.
She's a fucking femcel.
He's constantly giving him shit, always threatening to beat him up,
I mean, yeah, it kind of, I know like back in the day, it kind of was like a point to like kind of show how lame Greg is to have a female bully. But I think it's kind of refreshing to have a female bully, like a little girl who's just terrorizing this guy.
Well, I mean,
she's one of those girls who just like sprouted up like way quicker than like all the other boys in her class, and so she is stronger than all of them.
Yeah, it's like a funny little inversion of the trope, because usually you have like in like books like this and like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, you even see that already in the book in like the first few, where all the bullies are just these like knuckle dragging, drooling fucking dumbasses
with mullets.
Yeah, with like mullets, and they're like 7 feet tall, and they're just like, duh, let's kill Greg.
Yeah. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I think, suffers a lot from being one of those things where you can tell it was written by a guy who went to middle school and high school in like the 70s and the 80s. And so he's kind of still basing it off of those experiences. And so like the bullies are kind of like 80s style bullies,
Yeah, and that's something that we see in a lot of media that like came out between like the 2000s and the 2010s. Is just like a lot of the writers are basing it off of a time that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah,
and so
and
a
just
lot
like
of those
throwing
tropes...
on like flip phones and shit, to make it look more modern. Instead of being in like hair metal bands, they're in punk bands.
The principal got his toupee in the punch bowl.
Yeah, it's just like it just aged really badly in a lot of ways. No. But it kind of like adds on to this mythology of the American high school in a weird way, because it kind of helps bring up that idea of, oh, this is how all schools are like. This is how American high school is like. You have a old middle-aged man principal who has a toupee. You have the bullies, you have the nerds, you have the losers, you have the gamers, you have the whatever. And like maybe in like the 70s, 80s, 90s that could like kind of fly. But these days it's just everything is so different. There isn't really there aren't
I remember
really, like,
in high school my principal was a lesbian.
Yeah.
Was she hot?
Now that's an important question for the crowd.
Yeah.
Matt, was your principal hot? Was she hot?
Was a short, middle-aged lesbian with like black curly hair.
Okay, and out of 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a kind of medium tan.
I'm sorry, what?
Like out of 10, not a tan.
Yeah, rate them out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 9 out of 10 as far as lesbians are concerned, I guess.
A wooga.
Wooga, goddamn, you have a hot principal. One of the principals that I had at my school was a short, bald man who had a goatee, and he was like a military veteran, but he was like really chill. He was like weirdly chill. And I remember this one time. This is a funny little lore moment here, where like one of my friends was like talking about something, and he was just like, "God fucking damn it!" Like he said like that during lunch, and that little man just walked by and he said, "Oh, my virgin ears," and then he just walked away, because like we all froze in shock as soon as we saw him. Did my computer just turn off? Hang on.
Well, there's no way a principal would yell at the future quarterback of a Super Bowl winning team.
Can you shut the fuck up?
Okay. I'm sorry, you make it too easy sometimes.
I'm sorry, you make it shut up. Joe Burrow this, Joe Burrow that. If he finds out this podcast at any point, or anyone like on his legal team, or even like a fucking like weird like Cincinnati Bengals fan finds out about this podcast and they like relay this to him somehow, I'm gonna get sued.
I've got a lot of jocks at my trade school that come in just to be in sports broadcasting, and I'm sure if I brought up to them like, "Oh, I'm on a podcast with a guy who played football with Joe Burrow," they're all gonna want to know all about that. Trust me.
Well, it's not. Well, that's a lot of loose strings.
Okay, look, here's the lore dump. All right, I'm gonna lore dump the whole situation. I was a freshman in like 2014. That was during his senior year. We didn't play football together, but we trained together. And he was like the captain of the team. I was in the freshman team, so they were like separated, but we'd come together and train and do stuff like that. He knew me from training because I was like a funny guy or whatever, and he whatever.
He mentored you?
No, he didn't fucking mentor me.
Ivan mentored him.
On being funny.
No, he was a quarterback and I was a nose guard, right? I was on the line. I was a fucking big hulking bastard that was placed on the trenches to go smash some poor kid on the opposite side.
Oh, when you said nose guard, I had the visual image of you like shrunken down on his nose.
I'm gonna beat you with a wet newspaper.
I'm sorry.
But that's like the lore dump, all right? So like I wasn't on his team. He was varsity. I was freshman. Freshman is like 3 rungs below because there's like the freshman team, junior varsity, and varsity. Okay, 2 rungs actually, but still. I wasn't even. I didn't even do that shit.
I mean, the thing is like we could have like I just wanted to make like a quick joke, but you like said his name.
No,
and
fuck you. You mention it every podcast episode. It's always Joe Burrow this, Joe Burrow that. Anyways, that's it. That's the minute. That's the minute we dedicate to Synth's unending Joe Burrow mentioning that he knows gets under my skin because he thinks it's funny when I get mad at him. I'm lurking and I'm stalking every time you go to sleep. I'm awake and you're not.
Check, please.
Did he just say that? That was awkward.
Really said check, please.
Wow, he really just said a trope. I'm gonna log this on TV tropes for the Zoomer Tombstone podcast. Since don't you have a TV tropes page for your like YouTube channel?
Yeah, because I'm fucking famous.
Yeah, because you're fucking lame.
Yeah, that's what someone who's jealous would say.
Yeah, let's read the TV tropes page.
No, we're sticking to Diary of a fucking Wimpy Kid. Mads, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
The TikTok scene when they invented TikTok.
Oh, dude, that was so epic. Kesha.
Yeah, I remember that was the main scene that they were showing in all the ads.
Yeah, and then Raleigh like sits on that like spiky thing that goes into his anus.
Yeah.
Man.
And they got to get the mom to like pull it out. It's like, really, they're just like toothpicks. But no, it must have really lodged itself far up there.
Yeah, Raleigh fucking died.
Yeah, he caught a blood poisoning or something. Some of the tinfoil like got into his bloodstream.
Yeah, just like Pabst Blue Ribbon.
What are you advertising or something?
No, I'm saying Pabst Blue Ribbon is full of metal.
Oh.
That's a Futurama joke. Ha ha.
I love Futurama. I'm glad they're bringing it back.
Yeah, aren't they bringing it back in like a week?
Yeah.
A week.
That's like gonna be pretty fun.
Yeah, dude. Bender getting TikTok. Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the Futurama like TikTok version where it's just gonna be Bender saying like, "Haha, beer chug." And that's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Like
Yeah, whatever replacement they got for Bender. Because
They actually didn't.
John
they didn't
DiMaggio
do
is a
it,
communist.
No. They didn't replace him. They did not replace him.
Oh, really? Oh, thank God.
No, yeah, they caved to the demands of the actors or the voice actors. So
Yeah.
waka waka, the show must go on.
Can they bring back Disenchantment?
No.
Where's Disenchantment?
Where's
Just-
Glee? You can't bring it back. Most of them are overdosed.
Who
God.
overdosed?
Greg Heffley on
but which
Cheese
one,
Touch.
One of the actors from the reboot like killed somebody, right?
Who?
Who?
One of the actors from the Diary of a Wimpy Kid reboot like killed somebody, didn't
No,
they?
okay. Look, listen, you little troglodyte. Let me, an intellectual of Diary of a Wimpy Kid lore, tell you this: it wasn't a main actor, much to popular opinion, due to tabloid culture vultures. See, in the first movie, there was a kid who played a sheep. He was a background character who was playing his Game Boy Advance for 2 seconds.
And his name was Logan Roy.
I don't get the connection, but I laugh because it's a reference to something else. So I giggled a bit. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr.
it's just like
Jeffrey.
Family Guy.
Okay,
It's-
listen, lay off the fucking Family Guy when I'm telling a fucking like fact here.
Hey guys,
So-
do you remember the time?
No, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Okay.
Yeah, Buckaroo. I bet you couldn't even spell troglodyte.
So apparently in high school, I was like sitting with some classmates, and there was this like girl who was kind of like this Stacy type. And my friend told me that like one time I got frustrated and I called her a troglodyte, like a weird little incel I was.
That's a unisex insult. I mean that's a unisex insult.
Yeah, and
Okay, we need somebody in the audience who's listening to this to make a chud jack of synth, calling a Stacy troglodyte.
shut up.
A big tit Stacy. Put a Holly Hills book drawing on her too.
Fuck
Oh
off.
my god.
But
This earth.
going back to the Diary of a Wimpy Kid slasher. So the kid who played the sheep for 2 seconds playing the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, apparently like in like 2021, that kid he did something a little naughty and he brutally murdered his mom. So
That's what you get for not making me Hot Pockets.
I mean, shit, if your mom doesn't make you Hot Pockets, I mean, you know, what else can you
I
do?
wanted ham and cheese, not fucking pepperoni.
Okay, first of all, motherfucker, a fucking kid who would kill his mom would definitely want the pepperoni Hot Pocket. Ham and cheese are for good little boys who wouldn't kill their mothers.
Go on.
Can I get an amen?
A
Can
woman.
I get a holla in the back? Holla.
Holla.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, don't do that ever again.
Yeah, don't if Mads, I would never hit a woman, but if she did that, I would fucking kill her.
All
With
right.
what?
3-way group suicide pact. How are you doing it? I'm gonna give Synth the cheese touch. You're
No. I got my mask on, bitch.
Too bad. It's the cheese
He
touch,
got his
not the
cheese
cheese
touch
airborne.
vaccine.
Dude,
Both doses and all the boosters.
Dude, why the fuck is Joe Rogan still trying to deny the fucking cheese touch?
Why is he still okay? Real talk though, like this is gonna rift away from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Why the fuck are people still like railing against the vaccine at this point? It's been 3 years. It's been like 2 years since the vaccines rolled out. Oh yeah,
I
when
got
you
the cheese touch after I got the vaccine. How about that?
When you get the cheese touch vaccine, did you like film yourself on TikTok like violently shaking and going?
Yeah.
You bet I did. You bet I monetized that.
Yeah, then you like sold it to like Fox News for like $1 million billion, and you're just like, on a yacht now and you're perfectly fine. You're just like, the vaccines are evil. They made me shake a bunch. That's why I have this yacht now. Thanks, Fox.
That's
Thanks,
why I have my
Tucker.
own brand of adult diapers now, like the fallen down lady in Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh my god, dude! The people that like embarrass themselves publicly, I think they have like a humiliation fetish, you know, because they're just like, I can't control my asshole. I'm shitting and pissing everywhere. Oh, the vaccine did this to me. Oh, I've got the cheese touch.
I mean, I got the vaccine. It worked for me, so.
I mean,
Synth Cool is pro pharma. Boycott.
Boycott Synthcool. He's pro pharma. We don't enjoy pro pharma in our
He's pro trans people drinking beer. He should know that trans people should only drink seltzers.
He should be like a real American and be pro gaming and be a Twisted Wizard player like Greg Heffley.
Yeah, I feel like the latest Twisted Wizard was a little too woke for me.
Twisted Wizard?
I saw a background NPC that was a black woman, and she looked like a lesbian.
I literally cried for like
Diary of
5
a
days.
Wimpy Gamergate. Time to boycott Twisted Wizard because of ethics in games journalism.
Okay. So if we're going by the movie's continuity, Greg is about our age, roughly. Do you think Greg grew up to be like a leftist or like an alt-righter or maybe even a groiper? Let's fucking dive into this. Let's
I think it depends on the political affiliation of whatever girl settles for him.
Okay, question. What is the difference between an alt-righter and a groiper? Why is that separate?
Well, I think there's like an alt-righter guy who doesn't like use like the Jesus sort of thing to cover his views. Maybe it's like like paganism, brother, or just like it kind of varies. I feel like a lot of the groypers are still trying to latch on that like Catholic, like okay, like
I think
some
groypers
alt.
are losers.
But here's sort of the thing. I feel like there is a matter of them sort of barking over Christ or race, because you'll kind of see like Twitter threads of like Christ Groiper 69 being like
Look,
abortion should be illegal, but then you got like sort of like Aryan Viking Godfart 9000 being like, well, minorities get abortion, so we should be pro-abortion, and they're sort of bickering on stuff like that.
yeah, and they're all bitches. All right. And here's my thought. All right. So my boy Greg Heffley. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be like a full-on alt-righter. I think he would have become an incel.
For a
what's short period anyway.
He would have, at least for a time, become an incel, and he would have become very hateful towards women because he's
I can see him being like a commentary era YouTuber.
Yeah, like I could see him making like a cringe little like YouTube video in his home where he's just like ranting in his like 420p camera, just going like, "Women won't date me because of feminism."
Okay. Listen, dude. Greg is not like that. That's Fragley, bro.
No. Fragley is too stupid to care. He doesn't have internet access. He's poor. All right.
When is
Fragley's probably gay.
When the fuck has it been implied that Fragley is stupid? He's not stupid. He's just weird.
Rowley, on the other hand, I feel like his soul is too pure. He's too gentle. He would have been like a Redditor or something, right? That's my opinion.
Yeah, a heckin' wholesome kind of type. He's going to be socially. He's socially he's going to be way more successful than Greg.
Rowley's the type of guy.
College.
Because he's a nice guy. I feel like Rowley would be the type of person who would just go on like r/pets and just be like, look at this heckin' shonker kitty cat I saw. and he gets like 1,000,000 trillion upvotes, and then he becomes like a little like niche internet micro celebrity for
Raleigh
just posting cats.
Raleigh becomes like the other guy in like the Da Vinci. What are those videos of those like two blonde twins?
The the Voros twins, I think.
Yeah,
Vinky.
yeah. Raleigh would sort of be like that.
Yeah, they're just he's kind of like an airheaded, wholesome type who just does funny things because he can. Greg would be like a little dark enlightenment incel. You know, I listen to Jordan Peterson.
That's
type
not
Irony
guy.
poisoned.
that's not Greg.
I mean, I
Greg's
feel
a
like
good guy.
he'd probably reel out of it around college time once he realizes that being a leftist is a bit less cringe and also gets you way more pussy.
Well, Greg wouldn't do it for the pussy. He would do it for the betterment of mankind.
Yeah, but then he'd start getting pussy as a result of it, and he'd be like, "Whoa, I guess I did the right thing after all. Being a good person works," and that's his whole like moral arc. That's my headcanon for Greg Heffley. Going through the 2014 Gamergate / 2016 commentary YouTube era of the world.
Okay,
Basically, the hellish period that we all had to endure.
well, okay. What about Frank Heffley? You think Frank Heffley would have voted for Trump or Biden?
Hell no. I don't think he would. I think he would have been like a Hillary voter or something. Do you think
Yeah.
that Greg's mom would let him not vote for Hillary?
Yeah. Okay. You know, that's actually pretty good logic.
And then by the time it comes to the 2020 election, they are all lining up. The whole family, all lining up to vote Biden.
Not Manny. Not Manny.
Well, not Manny because he's a fucking kid at the point.
Manny is a groiper.
Okay, yeah, Manny's a groiper. He's still like a little preschooler, and he's just like, "Heil victory!"
No, Trump, Nick Fuentes, Kanye, and Manny all like shared like a lunch together.
But wait. Would he be a groiper? Because like, do you remember during the 2020 riots where like people just kept making graffiti of Manny Heffley, and it just said the Manny will not be televised everywhere? Nah, dude, Manny might be part of Antifa.
Okay, so Manny is either a groiper or Antifa. What about
What do you think Roderick would be?
Roderick would be like a conservatism is actually the new counterculture.
Oh, nah, I don't think that.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think if he were to be like that, he'd be like the type of guy who like isn't really conservative, but like pretends to be, and he like infuses that into his music just so he can sell more records, like the fucking MAGA rap people. You know, where they're just like singing about, huh?
Those MAGA rap motherfuckers are actually pretty fucking stupid. Don't act like they're grifters, bro.
No, they are absolutely grifters. They know what they're doing.
So you're saying that Roderick would be a fence rider?
No. Roderick would not be a fence rider. He would be like a kayfabe. He'd be like play acting. He'd be like play acting a conservative just so he can get more gigs. Just loaded diapers says vote for Trump.
What was the name of the middle-aged guy in his band? Like, I think he would be a Trump voter. I think he's definitely like, oh yeah, conservatism is punk rock, dude.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's like one of those like autistic millennial guys who are like fat and they have like a leather jacket of like a Ramones patch next to a Sonic the Hedgehog patch.
God. But at the same time, he'd still be like, I think he browses 4chan. I think that's his problem. I think that's the like middle-aged guy in loaded diapers.
Yeah, that's the question. Which ones browse 4chan? Which ones don't?
Yeah, he browses 4chan and he like gets drunk and he posts dick pics on there and he says, "Rate me, B. How nice is my cock out of 10?" And he does
Taylor
like
Swift lurking in here. Taylor Swift, what do you think of my cock? Write a song about my cock.
What do you think people are gonna think of when they watch this entire podcast episode? And it's just
fucking cringe.
Yeah, they signed on because they wanted a proper academic analysis of the impact of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid franchise on
Well,
the Gen Z generation.
Well, I mean, I think it's already been said, but I think the thing was like a lot of like kids media around this time always had to have some like ham-fisted moral where I think where Wimpy Kid stood out was like not trying to talk down to you, was like sometimes yeah, being an asshole gets you out of problems.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are no
Yeah.
morals. Sometimes life is just cruel, meaningless, and even adults are flawed and stupid sometimes. So,
Yeah.
don't take anything too personally, forgive your bros, move on. We're
Your
family.
parents were doing their best under the circumstances they were dealt with.
Yeah.
As a kid, I actually really had a lot of reverence for the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series because I had every book from I think oh god, what was it? It was like the first one all the way up to the winter one. I forgot the name of it. Remind me if you
Cabin
know.
Fever?
Yes, yes, Cabin Fever. I was up until Cabin Fever, and I just always loved how relatable at the time all those books were. It's like all those experiences are kind of like real experiences, like the whole thing where like Greg is like staking out like a game store on midnight for a midnight release, and he just like sends Rowley out to do it. It's there's like hijinks, there's relatable stuff, there's like
You did
the
that?
woe. No,
Oh.
but there's like the woes that like a 12-year-old would have, and like as a 12-year-old at the time I was like, damn, this really gets me. Of course nowadays as an adult, it's like, a lot of it is just kind of silly, dumb, weird, whatever. And there's a lot of people that meme on Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Have you seen the like horror edits of like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books on like
Oh,
Reddit?
yeah, the memes are
All the
great.
fan fictions. I love the fan fictions where it's
Yeah.
like them as adults.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, it's
I
just
love
like
the one where
Manny's normal like baby head on an adult body.
they
It's
yeah.
like I'm seeing my brothers in rehab right now.
No,
It's there's a lot of irony in those renditions of Diary of a Wimpy Kid nowadays, because like a lot of those people that grew up with those books grew up out of them, and when we look back on it, we kind of look at these as like a very silly thing, very kind of antiquated for how things are now. Our minds are not the same. The audience has grown up and away from it.
Yeah.
But like it's really just like I used to have so much reverence for that entire series. And like don't get me wrong, it was very formative for me. It
Mhm.
shaped a lot of who I am.
Yeah, same here.
But nowadays everything is so entrenched in memes and so like, whatever, that all I can think of whenever I think of Diary of a Wimpy Kid is just how much Greg is a sociopath, and also how much like a lot of the situations are kind of like grounded but unrealistic. A lot of like things that come off as being like tragedy in the book are just minor inconveniences at the end of the day.
Yeah.
all
Have
right.
You know,
have any of you guys ever read like the kind of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid knockoffs? Because I've read some of them.
Well,
I
okay.
never actually have. I would
Yeah,
I would
I've read
always look at
ones
those
that
knockoffs.
like I read the James Patterson one, and that's a little bit more realistic and true to like the tragedy of childhood.
No, it's wait,
I never.
say that again.
It's trying to be more realistic and true to the tragedies that you experience when you're going through adolescence, like having to deal with like stepdads and not really like I remember like he's like trying to like break all the rules of the school like by the end of the year, and I
Isn't
don't
the
even
book
remember what
called
it was
Middle
called,
School
but yeah.
Space or some like cringy shit like that?
Well, it wasn't like cringy. It was just like eh, trying to be like less like it's still like cartoony, but it's like it's not like ham-fisted. I thought I only read like the first one, and then I read
Now,
another one that was like assigned to me for one of my reading assignments. It was called Diary of a Part-Time Indian, and that was a very hardcore book.
Diary of a Part-Time Indian. What is that?
the Quickie Mart.
Uh, no, like Native American. He like is growing up on a reservation, but he's like the smartest kid like there, and like the resources like at his reservation school just aren't equipped for him, so he gets transferred to like the white kids school out of town, and he experiences all the shit that like people who live on
Wait a minute.
reservations have to deal with, like with all the rampant alcoholism that all your like family members are going to be going through, and the fragility of their lives.
Wait. I remember this book. I think I read this in English class. Did
Yeah,
the
and
main
they assign it
character
to you
have
in
like
English class when you're like a freshman or something.
did the main
It's,
character
it's
have
one
like
of the books that you can choose.
did the main character have like hydroencephaly where he had like water on the brain or whatever?
Yeah, and he was also like really small and fragile.
Right. Yep. Okay. See, I remember that book. That was a pretty tough read.
Yeah, his
Especially
bullies
when it
were all
came-
like I think like 30-year-olds, I think.
yeah, a lot of his bullies were like 30-year-old men who were just like drunks, and a lot of people that he got along with in school were like these burnt out popular kids who were just like bulimic and sad and depressed and all that shit. It was pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and like all his family members like are like dropping like flies. It's like, oh yeah, my kind of uncle guy, he's dead.
Not okay. It's not as bad as another book that I was assigned in 8th grade. I don't know why in 8th grade, but it was called Sold, right? That book was scarring. No. That book was scarring. Sold is a book about a Nepali teenager being sold into sex slavery in a brothel.
Oh God, have you ever
In
read
India.
Speak? The book
I
Speak.
I don't remember.
It's about like a mute girl who like got raped by a college guy, and like her like old friends have all like kind of disowned her. They don't know what's going on with her, and you know she's like almost entirely mute, and you know is just like retracted into herself and hasn't like told anybody what happened to her, and so everybody's like, what's this girl's problem, you know?
Shit, I think I have. I think I have read that book.
Yeah, and they turned it into a movie, and they had Kristen Stewart play her.
That sounds insanely depressing. Also, Kristen Stewart is not a good pick for a movie like that after she did Twilight. That
No,
is
she
so
started
fucked up.
doing like weird like French art movies or something like that, didn't she? I saw this one movie that she was in. It was I think it was called Underwater, and I don't want to like spoil these like movies, but like it just seems like it's kind of like one of those like underwater like you know adventure movies where like everything's going wrong and then just like out of nowhere and turns into like a Cthulhu thing. Just like
Oh,
out of
yeah.
nowhere. It's like a plot twist. It's like a Rick roll pretty much. It's like, no, this is like Eldritch Abominations. This is what we're dealing with here.
Actually, wait, shit. Wait. I think I remember that one too, because they had us read that in like fucking in like 7th grade, and I remember being fucking pissed off when I read that ending. So I was just like, "What the fuck is happening? What? Why is all this shit happening? What?"
And you,
You know,
didn't
'cause,
know
like-
about like you know Lovecraft or like you know all that
Yeah,
stuff back then, right?
I had no clue. I thought it was like a lame like cop out for the ending. I was just like, "What the fuck?" You know, it's I know that like the Lighthouse, like the movie, kind of takes that turn a little bit, but like you kind of get the vibes throughout the whole movie that that's going to happen. In that book,
Yeah.
it just happens. It's such a fucking left turn.
All right, my autism cannot like contain this anymore. I have to refute Ivan's argument about Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Okay, go on.
It's been boiling in my blood as you guys were talking about all these depressing fucking books.
Look, I'm sorry, but like we were counting childhood here. This is the Gen Z experience.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry that you big kids were reading big boy books in school while I was still stuck reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But let me tell you something, bro.
Sorry for not eating chalk, motherfucker.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say, I think the Wimpy Kid books, even as an adult, I still appreciate the sort of dryness and awkwardness of the sort of comedy.
Mhm.
And yeah, even though as an adult, I think a lot of the gross out humor doesn't work and is kind of cringy. I think, you know, I think the writer does a good job at capturing childhood, even in the 2000s. You know, even if he has maybe some dated things of him growing up in the 80s, I don't really see it too much. I think it's just a good job at portraying
Oh no, I think we lost Synth.
No.
Oh no.
Oh
His
god, and he's
argument-
probably still like rambling.
Oh yeah, his argument has been refuted by God.
No.
So for anyone watching, this is what happens when you try to disagree with the raw truth that is that Greg Heffley is a sociopath. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching the Zoomer Tombstone podcast. We have
No.
more on our Patreon.
Oh, he's back.
Oh shit, he's back. Oh no.
Okay. So what part did I cut off on?
You were like in the middle of your speech.
Okay.
When did you cut off?
What was the last?
You were
word
talking
that I
about like
said?
how you saw like the awkward humor, you know?
Okay, so yeah, I think a lot of the awkward sort of humor still holds up even as an adult, and it's really just the gross out humor that doesn't work. But I think the writer he does have he I think the books are relatable to kids of the 2000s. Even if you say, oh, he grew up in the 80s, I think he still does a good
no
job
shit.
at this
He
sort of
probably had
Americana.
kids our age or
No shit.
something.
He
Okay,
ca-
Synth.
well,
Synth.
well, let me.
No, before we go on to before we go any further, no shit, it's relatable to kids of the 2000s. I was a kid of the 2000s, and it was relatable to me.
Oh,
That was never ever my point. My point with all that is just that the idea of these like high school cliches, like the cliques and the groups, the in groups, the out groups, the whole popularity bullshit. Popularity didn't really exist in high school.
okay.
The only people that
it
were really
did.
no, shut up. The only people that were quote unquote popular in high school were kids that were rich that could do things. That's about it. That's all that popularity amounted to.
I mean,
it
in
wasn't
middle
this
school.
competition. It
Well, I
wasn't
think
this
like there were also
competition.
popular kids that were just like they're popular because like they're the nicest people in the school. You know, like somebody like Rowley,
because
you
they're
know, like
funny.
he doesn't come from like a lot of money,
No,
but he's gonna
that
become like pretty
that
popular just because like people like him because he's just
mm,
like so genuine and unassuming.
Yeah.
maybe in high
Turns out
school, but not middle school. In middle
no,
school, it really was a lot of these cliques. And look,
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm
come
sorry
on.
that it,
No,
look,
no,
look,
come
look,
on.
look.
Middle
I-
school was the same as high school. Everywhere.
I have the talking stick.
No. You need to silence for a second. All right.
Okay.
Middle school and high school were basically the same thing. At least in my
no,
experience.
they weren't. No.
No,
In my
no,
experience,
I
it
think middle
was.
school was
Look.
a lot worse.
Look, Ivan, I get it. You lived in Ohio. There was no popularity in your middle schools because like all you Ohio kids were like hills have eyes, motherfuckers.
Oh my god,
Like
that's not even what I'm
cannibals.
saying, dude. You're
But
being so weaselly.
here in the real
Look, what I'm saying is that in my experience, throughout middle school and throughout high school, there weren't really these like hard defined groups of people. And yeah, there was the concept of popularity, but it wasn't like a competition where you had to like do outlandish shit or like, try to compete for it. It usually amounted to whether or not you were generally likable as a person, as in like being a funny person, a nice person, or if you just had money and you could afford fancy shit that got other kids' attention. That's
Yeah,
all
and
it
you had
really
a big
boiled
house
down.
that you can invite people to.
Okay.
Exactly.
But hear me
And you're
out.
over here telling me, "Oh, your hills have eyes, looking motherfucker." Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
You live out on the West Coast. You fucking breathe wildfire smoke every year. I don't want to hear it, Mr. Smogstorm.
Bitch,
How about
our
you go drive
water.
your fucking Prius up to the Rockies and go fuck a moose?
Okay. Even if we disagree whether popularity is a real thing or not, here's the thing: the writer of Diary of a Wimpy Kid is smart enough to he makes it like this. He doesn't even really establish that these cliques are like a seriously strung thing in these movies and books because it's really just something Greg a flawed character, even by the writer standards, acknowledges. This is what Greg obsesses about. It's never really made clear if this popularity chart is even real at this school. It's just in Greg's mind, and it's sort of countered by Raleigh making a lot of friends. So I don't think the writer is out of touch, stuck in the 80s or 70s by writing this. I think he has a clear example of what sort of kids relate to.
Which I kind of agree with the fact that, like, because it's from Greg's perspective, it kind of like helps ease it in a little bit. And I think that's a great part of the story writing for the books. You know, a lot of things in the book that seem outlandish, that seem very rigid or structured or whatever, is usually just in Greg's mind. It's usually just made up bullshit that he came up with because he thinks in tropes, you know? But that's the thing. I don't think everyone thinks that way, and I don't think a lot of kids, you know, because when I was a kid and I was reading about this, even though it's coming from Greg's perspective and it's like, you know, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, none of that was really real. And I know that's like kind of the point a little bit with what, you know, the author was doing by having it be like from Greg's perspective only and having Rowley kind of surpass him in popularity, supposedly, by just being a good person. But like, I don't know. I just thought of that as being like a reflection of something that people really thought back in the day, something that the author really believed in at one point. Well, that maybe now he's bringing up as like a parody point, but like back then that was real. That was a real thing. We have media out the ass that talks about all these cliques and all these groups and all these other things from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that just don't exist anymore.
Well, I feel like that's why Wimpy Kid was always sort of better because, you know, besides the other point of sort of not having all that like mushy, love your parents and all that fucking moral stuff.
Right. That's just boring. That's a snooze fest.
Yeah, like, you know, you look at like other sort of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid knockoffs or whatever. It feels like the writer is doing like market research. Like it's like kids like farts and boogers and TPing the principal's house. Whereas a lot of this in Wimpy Kid is a subversion. Like I feel like when Greg pulls pranks, it never really goes right. It's not like a fucking Nickelodeon show where you have like the principal like slipping on the slime and breaking his fucking neck, so all the kids like get fucking like no homework.
They do the like TP thing in those movies, though. Remember the house party that they have in the second one, and it's like covered in toilet paper for no reason.
Yeah, but it's kind of it's not really meant as like a positive point. It's sort of meant as just like a coming of age thing.
Don't they get harassed by like some drunk teenagers that like chase them in a truck or something, like a movie?
Yeah, that's in the first one.
And they don't they don't even get even with those drunk teenage douchebags. It's kind of cynical where the dad like throws fucking water at them thinking they're the teenagers.
Right, and I think that's one of the biggest points of Diary of a Wimpy Kid that I actually really enjoy is that even though they do all these tropey things, they still kind of like envelop it in a envelope of cynicism. You know, a lot of the pranks, a lot of things just don't really work out because they're all just harebrained schemes by a fucking 12-year-old who doesn't know what he's doing.
And it's like when things actually work out for Greg, it's actually something completely different. And it makes you, the reader, feel a little more rewarded when it's just not like some tropey fucking prank that rewards Greg.
Right. But I still think that, I don't know, like, the idea that like it's a very relatable story, it's a very relatable series of books, but I think they could have made it a little bit more grounded. I think a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean I guess that's just sort of the marketing industry ever. They want. I mean, you know, you have to make Diary of a Wimpy Kid marketable. I mean,
shit. Have you seen the stuff they've been churning out for kids these days with like market research bullshit, like slop fodder? It's just all like shit themed. It's all shit
AI generated.
Stuff.
Bro, isn't that like the last? Bro, how could it be any more shit themed than like fucking Captain Underpants from our generation, dude? Those books are literally like scat fetish.
No. Captain Underpants and a lot of the books made by Dave Pilkey were downright good. You had to have read them to understand they were good, they were fun, they had a good plot. There's like a whole side series he did called Ook and Gluck, where they fight a fucking Donald Trump analog. And this was made in 13 or 2012. You know, like that's like, it's good. It's really good.
Were you the motherfucker who like read like the 8th Captain Underpants book and waited like a decade for the sequel?
No, motherfucker, because I couldn't afford the books. I was poor. I had like 2 of them, and I had the Ook and Gluck books. But like,
didn't you have a library?
Yeah. Do you think they had all of them there at all times, man?
I mean, it was Ohio, so I doubt they had too many books.
I regret telling you that I'm from Ohio. I could tell the world that you're where you're from, and people would be mocking you relentlessly for being in the land of well, I'm not gonna say it, but
school shootings.
Yeah,
it really narrows it down these days.
Yeah. Well, America, think back to the first school shooting. That's where Synth is from.
The very first one ever. There was never one before that.
Yeah, the fucking
the first major publicized one.
The fucking Star Wars The New Hope of school shootings. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Wow.
Speaking of, I remember seeing memes of Greg Heffley as a school shooter. I don't know where this came from. I don't know why it's flashing in my mind. But
I mean, look, that was when kind of like school shooting memes were like fresh. This was before there was like a school shooting like every fucking week.
Before it became a mundane tragedy every fucking like other week.
Yeah.
And the shooters plug in their manifesto, like they're plugging their like YouTube bio or something like that.
Like it's fucking Oprah or some shit. Just read my book, guys. Time to go air out this school.
Understand my dark, complicated mind. Pay attention to me. I'm killing people.
It all started when I was 10 years old and I saw Family Guy reruns on Adult Swim.
What a bunch of pussies, for real, though. Like, I know that, like, that's a really uncontroversial take to be like, school shooters are pussies, but, like, these people are just, like, wine mom authors who just are trying to, like, like, plug their little, like, fan fiction book.
Dude, the fucking Buffalo shooter, dude, that kid was like a real like pretentious asshole, because I think in one part it's like, yeah, in 20 years they're probably gonna make a statue of me, and I'm like,
yeah. No, all you're gonna get is just like a shitty little dramatized 1-hour TV documentary on Reels or something,
Yeah,
look,
like
I'm gonna be honest, the best that kid's gonna get is a plate on the dirt. That's it. It's gonna say, here lies a fucking idiot, and people are gonna piss on it for all eternity.
Dude, it's
a
so
one-paragraph
weird.
Wikipedia page.
Dude, it's so weird that kids who weren't even alive when like Finding Nemo are out are like fucking going on like shooting sprees for like a race war.
Dude, it's so fucked up. This country is so ideologically poisoned. All these kids are just falling for the dumbest fucking psyops and just grifter bullshit. You always get these people that are just like, hey guys, commit fucking murder, mass murder, buy guns, kill people, kill the brown people. And like their whole like thing is just like, yeah, I'm saying all this because I want to sell t-shirts to these kids. Like that's like the whole point. You have like t-shirt salesmen making people into mass shooters. And that's why I think that Greg Heffley should be not allowed to buy new t-shirts. He should always have that same white t-shirt he wears in every book. Because if he goes out and buys another t-shirt from an incel website, he's going to become a mass shooter.
In the movies, he's wearing Chris Chan like striped shirts the whole time.
Oh my god.
Dude, here's I actually got suspended from Twitter earlier today. Only for like 12 hours. It's probably going to be like up in like an hour or two. But
wow, imagine being suspended under Musk's Twitter.
Well, it's for a really stupid reason, because it's like it was like a video or article about like the El Paso it
It's
was
El
about
Paso, you fuck.
whatever. It was an article about the El Paso shooter being sentenced, and like some like fucking like Groiper account was like, he's innocent. So I replied like, KYS bum, and Twitter just automatically suspended me for that. When I don't know, there's like
Wow.
way worse
What a bunch
shit.
of pussies suppressing your free speech.
Wow, I
Yeah.
can't believe Elon Musk would personally do that to you, Synthcool. You should complain about that to Elon Musk.
You didn't
You should also tag Mr.
tell
Beast
Chelsea
in it.
Manning to kill herself, so you got banned. That's the only
Well,
person
yep.
you can tell to kill themselves on Twitter.
Sorry, you didn't harass a leftist. You harassed a random Groiper fuck. So now your account's gonna get banned because all the waves of like weird fucking sweaty nerds who simp for Nick Fuentes are gonna be like, actually, N-word. And they're just gonna fucking report you massively. Or
Yeah.
Twitter.
Lolly Groiper Fart 1488 posts like, here's why lolly farts are the key for white supremacy, and then Elon replies, interesting. Ooh, laughing crying emoji.
This
I'm
is
gonna
interesting.
leave for a few
Checking
seconds
it
to get
out.
some water.
I think we're wrapping it up at this point.
We're gonna fucking wrap it up. We got
All right.
yeah, it's done.
Final thoughts on Diary of a Wimpy Kid as a series. Go.
I hope they make more live action movies, and I hope each one they get a brand new, fresh cast. And I hope I can be in one of them eventually. I want to play a lunch lady or something.
All right,
Alright.
all right. Synth, how about you?
Holy fuck. Oh my god, you guys can't see this, but Ivan has the fucking cheese touch. Oh my god.
I'm gonna eat the cheese and I'm gonna shit it into your toilet so your house gets the cheese touch.
Bitch, if you fucking get me with the cheese touch, I will fucking end you.
It's over before it started.
Oh shit.
I pray that one day Jeff Kinley will show mercy to Greg and all the rest of them and let him get out of middle school already. Because right now he's
been
like
in
in
middle
an
school for 12
existential
years.
horror situation where he can never grow older than like 14 and he can never graduate into 9th grade or anything like that. He's just perpetually stuck in that stage of his life and is
Yeah.
constantly resetting. You know, like the Simpsons, they're always the same age, you know?
I'm Bart Simpson. I'm 10 years old.
All right, well, my final opinion on
Damn,
the
you got a cow, man.
God. My final
the
opinion on
sound
the
of
Diary of
having
a
a
Wimpy
cow.
Kid series. My final opinion on the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. I think it was really good as a kid. Got a bit less good over time because I grew out of it. I think that they should keep making more. I don't know. Fuck it. Why not? Who cares? It's a good
Yeah.
series.
Greg
Whatever.
becomes a Discord mod.
I
Yeah,
hope to see Jeff Kinley and Jeff Davis get into a fist fight with each other.
it'd be really fun to see like the whole Diary of a Wimpy Kid thing, Greg Heffley and all those characters just advancing as technology continues to advance. And you just have like Greg from like 2009 using like VR shit, and they're just like, wow, Twisted Wizard VR, oh my god. And it's gonna look so bad, and I'm here for it. Anyways, that's been the Zoomer Tombstone podcast. Go to our fucking Patreon. We have like twice as many, or not twice as many. We have 50% more episodes on there. Every other episode is a Patreon exclusive. That's patreon.com/Zoomer Tombstone. You can also go to zoomertombstone.com and find wherever we are streaming our podcast.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
an 80-year-old boomer and I love going on websites.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching.
Wait.
What?
On the count of 3, we all got to say Zooey Mama.
Okay. All right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Zooey
Zooey Mama. Fuck you.